Welcome to Top of the Line. This is the podcast version of our YouTube show. New episodes every Monday and Friday where we talk about audio and hi-fi related themes.
If you have any requests for a future episode, send us an email, totl@abyssheadphones.com.
Well, we're back with another question off the internet. This one, we got one from a mystery person in Seattle, Washington. He reads, I just watched your video on multi-driver headphones and was wondering if a coaxial design would be practical and desirable. I know that these are typically used with dynamic drivers and more recently with AMTs, so using planar magnetic tech would also provide another challenge to the design. Yeah, I could kind of see how you might come up with that idea, what the appeal might be.
Yeah.
But we did actually put a little bit of thought into this at one point. So we have a vague understanding. And it's a little bit more complicated.
We actually thought about something?
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes
well, it was the early
there's
days.
a time or two we think about things. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
back in the day.
Yeah.
20, 30 years ago, I think.
Yeah.
So we'll cover the whole summary. What is a coaxial design?
Yeah, start at the beginning.
Traditionally, now this is a while ago, you used to see commonly in cars a tweeter on the inside centered on like a sub-bass mid-range type driver. So you would have two drivers in one physical element. It looked like one speaker, but there's a little tweeter in the middle.
Basically a woofer and a tweeter.
Yeah, taped
All in
together,
one.
right?
Compact.
It was more convenient. So when you're slamming these in a car, you put one driver in, bam, there's two drivers in it.
Well, we're on a normal speaker. There's like a dust. They call it a dust cover, or dust cap, but in the center of it, which covers the magnet below.
Yeah.
And on those, they would remove. There would be no dust cap. There would be actually a tweeter mounted to that center pole piece, right in the middle of the woofer cone. So yeah, it's like a two-way design, and they would put like a simple capacitor on the tweeter to act as a crossover.
Right.
So it was like basically a two-way speaker in one. They call it a coaxial.
It's a basic design to give you two drivers in one element, and really just seems mostly for convenience of packaging, and so that you have the tweeter and the mid-range or the sub-bass woofer in the same physical location for coherency, but commonly you only really saw them on lower-end, more cost-efficient applications. Some speakers used
Well,
them.
that was in car audio. That was a big step up to put.
Yeah. Well, you went from like whizzer cones
Yeah.
to, actual tweeters.
Which people probably even know what whizzer cones are.
Yeah, you could cover that one.
Yeah,
Well, it's just a little piece of material that.
a little cone stuck out the middle instead of,
Yeah.
again, where the dust cap would be.
That's a common trend.
It
Yeah.
supposedly did highs a little bit, would resonate
It helped
the highs.
the driver kind of sort of
I guess
make
it was kind of
highs.
like putting a small driver in the middle of a big driver, even though it was the same driver.
Sort of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone ever actually that was measurable. I have no idea. I've never. That was
Well,
back
nobody
in the
does
day.
it anymore.
Yeah.
So.
Well, yeah. I don't think it was too effective.
There's a lot of weird designs in the early days, but you don't see a lot of that now. Most cars now, they don't even use coaxial designs. They've been moving away from that because, for the most part, people want audio that isn't garbage. So they have actually pretty decent
Yeah,
designs.
they put like 2 million drivers
Yeah,
in the car,
just add
all
more.
over the place.
Yeah.
Not to say that a coaxial design is garbage. It's just traditionally the way they're implemented, it's cheap. So they're not.
They were
good.
cheap speakers.
Yeah.
Hell, I
Right.
think you get a set of 6x9s for the back deck of your car for about $30 back in the day, $40.
Yeah,
still probably
even less.
can.
They're very affordable.
They were really cheap.
This does remind me of my speakers in the little dust cap. They were actually making noises because they were made out of like a soft rubber. So when you were playing them really hard, they would actually resonate, and you could.
Yeah,
hear
they
it.
would crinkle, wouldn't they?
Yeah, it was like a really soft rubber
Oh, yeah.
dome in the middle.
Yeah,
And yeah, if you're really beating them
you'd
up,
have so much air pressure
Yeah.
that it would
They're
collapse. The center dust cap would collapse.
Hey, you
So
wouldn't think
I
that'd be a
potted
problem.
them.
Yeah, stiffen them up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now they don't do that anymore.
Yeah,
But I mean, they're like 35 years old.
yeah, right. Yeah, a lot of them are just made of the same material as the cone, and they just glued
Yeah.
this little round dome thing right in the middle and glued it on. A lot of times the glue would let go. Anyway, we're going way off
Yeah.
topic. We're supposed to
Yeah.
answer the question.
So, basically, a coaxial design on a planar magnetic. That's tricky. The reason why coaxials were done on conventional drivers is pretty much because of convenience. That spot was almost dead. It was available. That center was not contributing a great deal. You take the little cone off, you pop a hole right through the magnet assembly, which is typically more or less dead too, and for very little disadvantage, you could put a whole new driver in this assembly. But with a planar magnetic, that's not the case. That center of the driver is very important.
Yeah, you can't
Putting
just pop
a hole in it, it's tough.
Yeah, it doesn't work.
Well, even if you didn't, you'd still be blocking the center of the driver, even if you had just a structure in front of it and didn't pop a hole in it.
Right.
Not only that, I don't think I'd want a tweeter facing the center of my ear directly.
Yeah, and
just
a headphone.
aiming right at your freaking ear.
Probably not great.
Yeah, that would probably kind of make it more difficult to integrate with the planar driver.
Well, that's the other thing. I was just thinking, in the way 1266, and Diana is, we would have to be behind the driver, actually. We'd have to redesign the whole thing to actually do it.
Yeah, right.
You couldn't put it in front of it.
No, there's no good way.
It's very impractical.
Yeah.
And the advantages, especially in a headphone, don't quite seem to be there. Because like most things, the reason why coaxials were designed and used, they were just problem solvers. And here the problem kind of doesn't exist. If anything, what you really need in some planar magnetic designs is something to produce more low frequencies, not really high. Highs are usually mostly doable in a planar magnetic, and you could get pretty much the entire range of frequency out of one driver. And most people would agree one driver is better than having several, because you don't have any of the coherency issues between the different units. You don't have a crossover to deal with. And especially in a confined environment like a headphone, it really avoids a lot of the problems with multi-driver designs.
Anyway, we did a video on multi-driver headphones not too long ago, maybe a few weeks ago, and we kind of covered that reason why we don't even like multiple drivers, because they're hard to get to blend together to sound like one speaker.
Well, I mean, if you can get full range out of one driver,
right? Yeah, beyond audibility at that point too. Why bother adding something? But there might be some options, like how about we put a super tweeter in there?
Super tweeter.
Yeah, like some of these guys sell separate super tweeters you put on your speaker, and you hook it up to your standard speaker terminals, and it just does like 15 kilohertz and up.
Yeah.
No,
JBL does that in their like hi-fi speakers.
Yeah.
They put like tiny little super tweeters on the top.
Yeah.
Remember we listened to them at a dealer that one time.
Yeah.
He was like, "Is this doing anything?"
It just has a little sizzle coming out.
20K out. Yeah, I couldn't hear anything.
Add a little sizzle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some people like that.
Yeah.
Put a little volume knob on it and tune it to your taste.
You definitely need to be able to adjust it, because it's got
super tweeter.
it's got to adjust for. I mean, we could tune it obviously for the headphone, but again, to what end? Like, first of all, I think a lot of people can't even hear about 15 kilohertz. Although they're saying that even though you can't, there's some effect in the ultrasonic range where your brain is kind of picking it up, but who the hell knows? You couldn't go. Let's just say you couldn't go to the ear doctor and he's going to play 18 kilohertz, and you're going to pick, whatever you do, raise your hand when you hear the tone or something. I mean, most people aren't going to hear that high.
No.
Once you go past about 30s or 40s, you're pretty much done with that range. But for some reason, some people say there is some effect even in the ultrasonic above 20 kilohertz range, but who the hell knows? I never experimented with that.
Yeah.
Now, another idea is, what about a subwoofer for a headphone?
External
He
subwoofer?
doesn't say it has to be a tweeter. He
Yeah.
just said coaxial.
Yeah.
So it could be a subwoofer with a planar driver.
Put a sub behind the planar driver.
Yeah.
really
pretty
pumping
big.
some air. Yeah.
That's tough
Yeah,
because,
yeah.
of course, low frequencies tends to mean a lot of physical air motion.
Yeah.
You need a lot
Well,
of surface area.
It sounds dangerous for your hearing too.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So I don't know how you would actually implement that, but you'd have to do like a stacked driver design and have two separate elements that are better for different frequency ranges, and that's
Yeah, I don't even know what you
trouble.
would make it out of, come to think of it. You'd have to do that bone conduction thing, or vibrating your...
That is a thing.
Body.
They do make those,
Yeah.
like for wearing headphones,
Yeah.
like vibrate, so
I
it
think
kind of
one of
feels
our,
like
I
bass.
think someone wanted to threat.
Yeah,
Someone
I've
asked
seen it
us that
somewhere.
question.
Yeah,
Might have been in one of the comments in one of our videos, but yeah.
Yeah, I think somebody was looking
What
for.
do they do with that? How
they're
do you?
just like vests
Oh.
that vibrate.
Yeah,
Yeah,
It's like a heavy vest.
no, they're not heavy.
I don't even know.
I don't know what they use, but they vibrate somehow. I don't know. It's like a tactile vest.
Yeah, so it's shaking your body.
That's exciting, I guess.
It's kind of like they sell those for like home theater. You like put them underneath your couch.
You could call that a coaxial design.
External.
Wow.
Well,
Yeah.
I think coaxial
No.
means something's in the middle of something
Yeah.
else, and and they're round things.
It's an external coaxial.
Yeah, something
that
like
doesn't make any
Yeah.
sense.
Well, they sell butt kickers for your chairs too.
Yeah, butt kickers. That's what they're called.
Solenoid things you mount
Yeah.
to your chair and then they're like
Yeah.
they're just made to for tactile feel only, like 5 hertz.
You could do 5 hertz. Yeah.
Yeah. Or better yet, what was that subwoofer they made that was like a fan?
Oh,
that
the
spun?
fan, yeah.
It was a big.
That
they
went
had
down to, like,
the blades
1 hertz.
adjusted pitch to make
Yeah.
a frequency.
I saw a few people
That's a
making
wild
DIY
thing.
versions of those.
Yeah.
The reliability seems to be questionable.
Oh my god!
That's what I hear.
Was it like a 3 horsepower motor to do this?
Yeah, 3-5 horsepower or
It's
so. If
pretty
you want
bad.
to oomph.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
don't know. I
it's
think, I don't know if
significant.
they made those for like. I don't think they ever made it
Home
for
theater?
home. I think it was like commercial.
Not home theater,
applications, like-
just theater.
Yeah, I think it was made
high-end
for
theater.
Yeah,
Well,
I
it's
think it
kind
was
of
for theaters.
big, takes a fair bit of power. Always has to be running whenever you want low frequencies available.
What a crazy concept!
It's
Yeah.
weird,
A
yeah.
fan
It's a
spinning can actually
variable
reproduce audio.
Impeller
Well,
pitch
It's pushing air.
fan blade.
Pushing air. Yeah.
Lots.
Yeah.
You get,
Well, that's how you make 3 hertz, I guess.
Yeah. I wouldn't want that in my head though.
oh no,
No,
giant
not
Some
practical.
blade spinning at so many RPM. Yeah, it's not a good idea.
Probably not.
No.
No.
Maybe on the top of your head, you get one of those propeller hats and just.
Put tubes down. Again, it doesn't seem very safe for your hearing.
Yeah. No, none of this is really a
No,
good idea.
no,
No.
no.
If you really want bass that badly, then maybe hang out where the earthquakes happen. Get some,
Earthquake.
what is that? 0.2 hertz or so? A few 0.2 of a hertz.
Well, I guess
It's
it
not
depends.
high.
No, it's pretty low, whatever it is. Well,
Yeah.
the college here, UB at University of Buffalo, they have a earthquake simulator. You used to
Mhm.
go there. Didn't the whole place shake when they ran that freaking thing? It was underground,
well,
right?
yeah.
It's like a
but
big
it wasn't
table.
intended to shake the whole
No,
place.
it wasn't. But I mean, you felt it in, in
Yeah.
other
Yeah.
buildings, right? 'Cause
Sure.
Well,
yeah.
they built like
reproducing.
a house on it, and then shook
They would
the
build
house.
an
So it's like
actual
a house
house.
shaking in the
So it's a
distance.
platform
They
that
would
vibrated
rattle
like
the
a-
house
to-
to
yeah.
destruction
Yeah.
to test building methods.
Did you ever see it work?
No.
No?
Just saw a video.
It
of
always happened when I had like labs and stuff.
I never did. I went there 2 years ago. I never saw it either.
Yeah.
But yeah, you felt it.
They would do like one every semester.
Yeah.
Build a house on it and shake it
Can you
apart.
imagine what it takes to shake a house? I mean, artificially.
Well,
I mean, what the hell's this thing? What the hell runs this thing?
I have no
Jesus.
idea.
A lot of power.
Stuff? I don't know.
Well, they do have a nuclear reactor too.
That's true. Just for playing around.
Yeah. Wow. Not really playing.
Who
around.
Is that
So-
thing active? They got the stack there, like the smoke stack, whatever they call it, the
smoke
steam
stack.
stack. right? Yeah.
Steam stack?
Okay, the
I
cooling
saw it
tower.
on the
Cooling tower.
cooling tower. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think that thing actually is operational. I think it was made for like just teaching how to use one.
I think so, yes. But back to coaxial design
Yeah, back to coaxial
electromagnetic
design.
headphones.
Yeah, right.
I think probably the closest actual implementation of this would be the Mesa Empyrean. Because they kind of sort of did that. It's like a 2-element approach on the same diaphragm. It's
Yeah.
vaguely coaxial, sort of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they just decided they were two different. They made different regions. They varied the trace pattern on 2 different regions, right? So
Yeah.
that supposedly one section's better at certain freaks than others. So who
Well, and
the
they
hell?
got different magnet structures too.
Oh, do they?
Well, yeah, one's like circular, and the top one's like
Yeah.
curved bars. Yeah.
Yeah.
Usually there's a reason why people don't do things. You know, a lot of times there's either a workaround or there's some practical limitation to the thing where the implementation in some sort of weird, obscure manner isn't really advantageous. So it really depends on your approach. But
Sure.
for the most part, it seems like most companies have found a way to get all the frequencies they need out of one driver. And that seems to be better.
Yeah.
And people have experimented with wacky things over the years. And coaxial and planar, it just doesn't seem to make a lot of sense.
No.
The disadvantages are substantial.
Yeah.
Mounting and tensioning the
can't see a good way
diaphragm
to
would be
do
very,
that.
very difficult if you had like a hole in the middle or you had to somehow put 2 separate discrete elements. Very difficult.
Yeah.
And it would significantly it would limit your driver's ability to produce low frequencies intrinsically because you're limiting the surface area, and it would make it harder to increase the excursion if you're tensioning it on the center and the outside. So it poses practical
There's no way to grab a
limitations.
planer in the middle in
It'd be
any
very
way and
difficult.
have it operate. It's just not made for that. In fact, the center of the planer, the center area of the planer, is actually where most of the air moves, most of the motion occurs.
It's the most critical
what's
spot.
It's creating the base. You know, so as soon as you pin that down, you're done.
It'd be real tough.
It's below a few hundred hertz, it'll go away.
Yep.
So now you do need that subwoofer if you're going to add it.
Right.
So now you need to add
You
a
got
sub
mids and highs,
Now
but then
you
you
need
need
a
some.
three-way design. Yeah.
Now we're getting complicated.
Yeah.
We're
Well, then you
already
need
getting
a
complicated.
stacked diaphragm. You have your coaxial, and behind it or something, you would have to put a full size subwoofer element.
Yeah, right. And we might as well tri-amp this thing. We need
Yeah,
special
why not?
amplification
Yeah.
in every driver. That way we could
man.
run DSP.
Mm.
You could have just digital tuning of each driver and the frequency response. And,
Separate XLRs for each one.
Yeah.
3
Now,
XLRs
see,
coming out.
What I'm
Yeah.
thinking is
Yeah.
DSP right out the gate is a better bet. Just do one driver and just DSP
Yeah,
it to
there
your
you go.
taste.
Yeah, if you get, yeah,
Let's
if
just
it's-
go with
yeah,
that.
If if it's that difficult to get sound out of this bad boy, you know,
Yeah.
maybe you should just go with that.
That makes a bit more sense, I
Yeah,
think.
totally. Yeah. On that note,
Yeah. So that's why you don't see coaxial designs in
Yeah.
planar magnetic headphones.
right.
Well then, if
Yes.
anyone out there has any questions like this that they want us to answer on a future episode, you could send it to us at totl@abyssheadphones.com, and maybe we'll answer it on a future episode.
And don't forget, we have an abyssstore.com where you can get T-shirts. And
Yeah, abyssstore.com.
I don't know if it's got hats, T-shirts, pillows,
No,
hats.
pillows to
Yeah.
throw on your couch with a fun smiley face guy, mugs,
mugs, yeah.
shirts.
Yeah, we haven't mentioned that in a while. We should throw a mug on the table. We can do it too.
Yeah.
No, I just saw it.
Anyway, yeah, so abyssstore.com.
Abyssstore.com.
Yeah, and thank you, everyone. Take care of yourselves.